Today I'm in Berkshire attending what has potential to be the final home game in the Football League played by Reading Football Club. Nearly 8 years ago, Dai Yongge, a Chinese businessman, bought a 75% stake in Reading. At that point, the Royals were preparing to play in the final of the playoffs in the Sky Bet Championship. Since then, it's all gone downhill, with the club now facing a 96-hour deadline of its sale, or they will be suspended from the Football League immediately. The reason for the threat of suspension is due to Dai Yongge facing legal proceedings in his home country, which now means that he does not pass the EFL's owners and directors test. Since taking ownership in May 2017, Reading have faced several charges for financial misdemeanours, such as unpaid tax bills, failing to pay players, with the punishments faced such as transfer embargoes and points deductions. In 2013, the club were hit with a winding up order, and now 2 years later, the threat of suspension from the EFL. So, as fans start to turn up at the Select Car Leasing Stadium, I spoke to Adam from the group Sell Before We Dai. I got an overview of Dai Yongge's ownership of the club since 2017.
It's been a bit of a whirlwind, really. So 2017 is when he took over. I think it was kind of announced either at half-time or full-time playoff semi-final. So his kind of first game as an owner really was the playoff final.
Yeah.
We lost to Huddersfield. And that turned out to be a bit of a turning point for us. And we spent very heavily in the first kind of few years of his ownership. And then kind of the issues started to appear. We had stuff like points deductions and transfer embargoes, and things just kind of went downhill really from there. Now it started off as quite an exciting ownership because we had all that spending, but all of that spending wasn't translating to success on the pitch, so it was really difficult for us. And then the problems have just spiralled. Ever since we started the Sell Before We Dai campaign, things have spiralled even more.
Reading Football Club has been up for sale for over 500 days, and as yet there isn't a buyer. The club has 96 hours to find a buyer, otherwise they will not be a member of the EFL for much longer. What does the threat of suspension really mean for Reading FC? The main issue is the club won't be allowed to fulfil any of their scheduled matches. And at such a point in the season where every point in every match is vital, that could be crucial to the outcome of Reading FC season. Initially, the EFL set the deadline as the 4th of April, but since granting an extension requested by Reading to the 22nd of April. Today's the 18th, meaning there are 4 days until that deadline is reached, but still there is no clear end in vision to Dai Yongge's ownership. I've spoken to fans around the Select Car Leasing Stadium today to find out how they're feeling with Tuesday's deadline looming.
Very concerned. Yeah, well hopefully that he'll sell before then, so we can keep the club going.
Yeah, it's a big worry, but I'm quietly confident that Mr. Coig might step in and do something for us.
It's annoying for me. It's been going on way too long. I think the EFL should have done something.
Hopefully we might get another extension come Tuesday, but it pretty much hangs in the balance. Hopefully it's not a case of worst comes to worst.
Very concerned. I mean, especially obviously, after all these days that Dai Yongge's had the club up for sale and it seems like nothing's happening. But I'm just hoping. I'm hoping obviously something's in line before Tuesday.
I am a little bit concerned. Obviously there's no certainty that we'll get an extension. I have a feeling we will get an extension if we can show that we've made progress on the sale, or meaningful progress at least. And I'm hopeful that some progress at least has been made. There are signs that we're kind of moving in the right direction. But
according to reports, a £25 million deal to sell the club to an American businessman, Rob Coig. However, it's unknown how far this deal has actually progressed.
Reading means everything to me. My son as well. He's autistic and he loves obviously coming here and meeting friends. It's more than just a football club. It's brings everybody together.
Well, I've been a season ticket holder since I was 3. It's my dad's team, my granddad's team. I pretty much live and breathe Reading FC.
Everything. Been supporting them since 1970.
Pretty much everything.
Well, we've been following since we were born, basically.
Yeah. It means a hell of a lot to me. I've been supporting this club now for nearly 20 years, around 20 years, and I wouldn't be the same without it. It's been it's an escape from life for a lot of people as well. Come here on a weekend and watching the football.
It must be noted the fantastic job that manager Noel Hunt has done with the team this season. Reading currently sits 6th in League One, will look favourites to secure that final playoff place with a view of returning to the Championship next season. I've spoken to Reading fans to get their sentence that they would say to Dai Young if they had the chance. The answer is pretty unanimous.
Sign that bit of paper.
Fuck off, Dai. And once you've sold the club, I'll happily pay for your flight back to China.
Sell the club.
Fuck off. I can't swear in Chinese, so.
Sell the club. Yeah, for God's sake, sell the club.
Sell up.
Fuck off. Pay the bills, sell the club.
Over 17,000 tickets have been sold for their Sky Bet League One clash this afternoon against Lincoln City, which is an extraordinary number for any club in the third tier of English football. With the hopes that the playoff campaign will follow in May, the fans are well and truly behind the team, but not the regime.
Although Reading didn't get the result that they probably wanted today, one thing is for sure, the fans are united behind this club. They want this club to succeed, and ultimately, they just want their club to not be at risk of going out of business every couple of months. Dai Young's ownership is an example once again of how unregulated football club ownership is in England. How many more clubs will it take to die before something is done? The hope is that Reading won't be another Bury or Macclesfield, but at the moment, that's still unknown. One thing that I did see today is that this is more than just a football club for these fans. This is a community. This is a family. This is where they come for an escape from life. And no one should ever be able to take that away from them.